Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Think Talk with Beatrice. Think Talk. Last episode, people say, this is now feel talk. It's as if you felt it and you said something. Yes, but usually it comes from a series of thinking, reading, sorting out help, and boom, I get the epiphany. This one will work for people. Let me just share. So thank you for joining me today. I am Beatrice, just Beatrice. Don't try to attach any other thing, just Beatrice. People call me now the Triple T. People call me the Think Talk. I'm just Beatrice. Just do me a favor, call me Beatrice. I am just fine with that. So today, I have a remedy for something that I personally went through. And I am grateful that I'm convinced that I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm on the other side. So today, I want to talk to you about the number one cure for heartbreak. And when I say heartbreak, it's not that thing that you went through, like when somebody that you love just breaks your heart, somebody that you love dearly, that you desperately want in your life breaks your heart. What is the number one cure? To just lift yourself up and move on. Life must go on. You cannot stay on one spot forever and ever. But before I do that, I have a shout out to make. I want to send a shout out to my two boys, Tegloma Janga and Josiah Shosoya. They are kids, they are my friends' kids, and both of them are celebrating their birthdays today. Happy birthday, boys! Auntie loves you. Like I said, I love you more than I love your parents. That's just it. You're my guys. So, let's go to the topic of the day. This one is a little bit emotional, so maybe I'll cry along the way. But I want you to catch it, because it took me a whole year to get to that point. And I think that was unnecessary suffering, because I did not just have the tools that I should use to get over it. It was unnecessary suffering. I will tag it like that. You don't have to go through all of that. They say if you want to go through all of life's experiences before you learn, you will live a life of suffering for the entirety of your life. So sometimes we'll learn from other people, how do they survive in situations, how do they cope, and then you take that on board and don't allow yourself to suffer unnecessarily, like I did. But I did, so you would not. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. So let's just get at it. So what is heartbreak? Heartbreak in its essence, when it comes to love, relationship, it means when you desperately want something and a thing says, I don't want you back. And you feel that void inside you that, oh, I have been rejected. So heartbreak on so many other levels could be tagged to be a rejection from someone that you really, really, really like intensely, emotionally attached. And let me just start by saying that I am not minimizing the pain of heartbreak. The heart is so funny. You will recognize that people that have beat circumstances in life, like an illness, they beat like disappointment in the job, in their journey to search for a job, beat their disappointment in trying to make a livelihood for themselves. When it comes to emotions, when they are attached to emotions, you find out that it is so tough for them to let go. It is so tough for them to, get through it. Why? Because our hearts are so damn funny. They just want to attach to what they want to attach themselves to. Like, our hearts are blind. They don't see. In my last video, I spoke about when love is blind and how we can actually put people accountable, why love should not be blind. So many other things makes us to just feel this sense of real attachment, this sense of extreme loss, this sense of great rejection, this sense of disappointment, this sense of, low self-esteem. There must be something wrong with me. If this person says they don't want me, they don't like me, there must be something wrong with me. It means I have to amp up maybe my dressing, my education, my this, my that. I brought news to you. If you go back to one of my episodes that I did on rejection, it had like a lot of listens on my podcast on Anchor. Rejection has nothing to do with you. When somebody says they don't want you, it is not you. It does not take away the fact that you have value. It just means that the value that you bring at that point in their life, it is not what they want. I have seen people that rejected people and they think they know what they want, and then they go. And later, 10, 15 years back, they will be right where they stand and like, I don't know what came over me. I think you're the best I ever had. Blah, blah, blah. But at that point, when they're rejecting you, it just means that what they want out of life, you don't align. And what that says about you is that you are a strong person, projecting who you are and not succumbing to be something you're not, to just match up with what they want at that time. Does it make sense to you? Let's say you're somebody that is not a domestic kind of person. You prefer paying somebody to come to your house and clean. You don't have time. But you bring good money to your home. You help your spouse out and blah, blah, blah. And at some point, your spouse is like, I don't want a woman that works in an office or does business. I want a woman that stays home. Misalignment. The man might walk away from you, or the woman might walk away from you. And maybe 5, 10 years down the line, they will realize that, oh, I want a woman that is financially stable, that can support my kids to have a good education. And maybe they will realign what they want. And if you're still available, maybe you work it out. If you're not, too bad. Okay? So when you go through the rejection on an emotional level that causes heartbreak, the number one thing that I personally went through is that you feel a sense of loss and a sense of detachment to something that is so familiar, that is so comfortable, that is so convenient. It is only maybe 6, 8, 9, 10, 1 year down the line that you will realize that what you feel before the heartbreak happened was not really love. What you felt was codependence. Now, let me retract my step because I want you to catch it, because I want to tell you the antidote. When I give you the antidote, boom, my sister, you walk out of this video smiling. Okay? So when it happens, there are so many emotions that flow through your mind. What is it about me? Is it another woman that is involved? Has somebody, impressed this person more than the way I have impressed them? Is it that I have no value? Is it that what I have sacrificed all these years will not amount to anything? Is it that the person does not think about the past, they just think about the present and how they feel now? Why is it that all of these years I have stayed in a situation that did not serve me, but I had that strength or that commitment that this is not like in the pawn out of the pawn kind of game? I was willing to walk through all of the situations and the circumstances, but the person is not willing to do all of that. Like, you feel a sense of regret, a sense of wasting your time, all of these emotions. But the one big emotion that will hit you is like, I lost somebody. The feeling has been, research has said that feeling is synonymous to you losing a loved one, like somebody dying. That is how the feeling is synonymous. The significant difference in this is that the person that died did not want you to go through the pain. But when you are rejected, the reason why it is harder for people to accept death than going through an emotional heartbreak is because they feel like the person knows that they are going to feel this way, but they did it anyway. So what happens? You have this bitterness, this anger, this resentment. How can you do this to me? How can you break my heart like this? Like, it is so intense that, like I said in my last video, the reason why I am putting myself out there, like saying my own truth, is because I have had too many stories of people losing their mind, people dying, people, dropping out of their jobs because they cannot concentrate, they cannot do their jobs well, just because they are going through these domestic situations that is messing them up big time. So if I'm the one that should say my own, so you will know that you are not alone and there is a way out, so be it. I'm completely and utterly fine with that. So the one thing, like I said, that hits you the most, sense of loss is so deep, it's so deeply rooted in you, as if somebody has died. Like, literally, that is the feeling that you get. So sometimes we tend to turn to things that are just coping mechanisms. They help you to cope, they help you to get, one day at a time. It is completely normal if you're struggling to just jump at the one antidote I'm about to give you. I understand that. So the one thing I will advise you to do is not to keep your emotions to yourself. Don't keep your emotions to yourself. One of the reasons why people die out of depression is because they don't speak. And I understand it that when you speak, you don't trust who you're talking to. But I have a resource for you. The BBN Counseling Center. That's a great, fantastic, trusted resource. Like if you're burning inside, you think you need to talk, please go to this place. They can help you. They will sit there, listen to you. You will rant, you will cry, you will this, you will that. They will just be sitting there like looking at you. But it does something for you. It helps you take out those feelings. Those feelings are not meant to be kept in there. So every time you release those feelings, it gives you space to understand the issue better. But when you clog those feelings, they are inside, and one day you sit down and you think about, oh, and one time I even did this for this person, and this person is there. Boom, you add to the pile. You add to the pile. You don't have a place to release. I get it. Now you don't trust people. I went through it personally, that I trusted people, shared my stress with them, and it turned out to be that they are not like the perfect ears that I would have contracted, to tell my story. The number 2 thing that I think you are doing right now, which is a coping mechanism also, is to think about the issue emotionally and not logically. We all do it. For you, I love this person. Why are you doing this to me? Those are all the emotional interpretation you give to the situation. But try thinking about the situation logically. Use logic. Sometimes it's our heart to deceive us. So maybe you have to take all this nonsense, mushy, I love you, and be logical about it. What does this mean for me? Where did I go wrong? What was I not seeing? Like I said, nothing happened from the blue. Oprah says it's the best. He said when life is talking to you, it comes like whispers. You don't pay attention, it comes like rain. You don't pay attention, it comes like bricks upon you. So you will pay attention. So the thing that is happening to you, the heartbreak that happened to you, does not come out of the blue. There must have been signs. There must have been dissatisfaction, even by you. But because you have this problem I spoke about earlier on, which I'm going to do a special video, which is codependency, which we don't even understand. I understood it like less than 6 months ago. Like I am a codependent person. And when I looked back at my childhood, I was so fixated with my mom that if my mom traveled, I would get sick. You can check with my dad if I'm lying. Like I have a codependence kind of attachment problem. I was so in love with my mom. My mom usually comes to Freetown to do the marking for GCSE. That's a long time ago. She used to do that. So I was just like 5, 6, 7, 8 about that. So anytime she left, I would be sick, simply because I was not with her. So it gives me those raw emotions that just put me in so much pain that I get physically sick. So that is how bad codependency is, especially if you've been in a relationship for so long and you have intertwined your life so long. Maybe you have life projects together, maybe you have kids together, and that is no longer happening for you. Emotionally, it is just sadness that it will bring to you, questioning your ability to keep a relationship. But get away from that position and think logically. What does it mean for my life? What does it mean for my future? What does it mean for my sanity? What is the explanation, the logical explanation I can give to the situation? If you ask yourself this salient question, they will not come in the first 2 weeks or even the first month. Or maybe you have suffered more than a month. I think it's time to get away from the emotions of it. Oh, I love this person, I'm still in love. I think they uprooted the carpet right under my foot. I get it. It has happened. It has happened. Ask yourself the logical questions. What is it that I need to learn from the situation? What part did I play? How can I come to terms with forgiving myself with the part that I played? And how can I come to terms to forgive this person and let them free? They don't just want you for this moment because you're not what they want. It's as simple as that. Nothing is wrong with you. You're perfect. You are great. You are a phenomenal person. And just maybe someone will appreciate you for who you are, for what you can offer. Okay? So when you have finally get out from talking yourself, from being on the emotional side and being logical about the situation, one thing I want you to do is to try to draw a roadmap of how you are going to start to live your life. It's tough. I get it. I'm not minimizing the pain. You have always, you're in the office, you want to take a decision, you have someone to call. What do I do about this? Oh, there's no water in the house. Can you buy water when you're coming home? It's gone. Now you are by yourself. How do I start to live this independent life without this person? Those are the questions you're going to ask yourself. Because I promise you, if you don't sort yourself out, you will not last for 6 months. You will not. Because your life will totally be stuck. You don't even know what to do with yourself. So these are important questions. You will find yourself like either you're being rash with your resources. You have to change your lifestyle because your life has come to a place where you and you yourself are responsible for your livelihood, responsible for your feeding, for your clothing, for your rent, for whatever expenses you have. You have to learn it. Good for you if you have like legal backing that will maybe push the person to be doing stuff for you. Good for you. That is something you can explore. But if you are like some other people that will not want to go to that route, you have to streamline your life to start to think about how can I be independent now that this thing has befell me. Important. The number 3 thing, which I think is a gold standard, is to detach yourself from that old situation. Detach yourself from that entire situation. How do you detach yourself? If the person is on Facebook with you, stop looking. If you have their WhatsApp number, you think they are posting their amazing life. Because let me tell you something. When somebody breaks off with you, they are imagining one of 2 things. That you crumble and feel like you cannot live without them. And 2, they will try to project a life that you meant nothing and their life is above and beyond perfect without you. Now, you are on the hurting side. If this breakup would have come from you, they would have been on the other end of the spectrum and you would like to project to them, I left you for this reason because look at my life. Without you, I am fine. You want to project that because that is what it means. You are not making me happy, so I'm leaving you. So now look, you're not here and look at me, I'm blues on me. You don't want to see that. Trust me. I have known a lot of people that, they will screenshot when they're going through stuff. They will screenshot stuff and send it to me. Look at this person. He or she is having a blast. They don't even miss me after so many years. It's as if I never existed. It's as if I died in their mind. Don't look. In as much as I know it is hard in this day, where even if you don't want to look, some other people will screenshot and send to you. Make it very clear that I don't want to look. I don't want to talk. I don't want anything to do with this situation. I am trying to heal. There is no way you're trying to heal by going back to the situation every time. You will say, even if you get to a point where you say, okay, it does not bother me anymore, you don't know that for sure until you see that person and you feel nothing. Until you hear about that person and you feel nothing, then you know you have gone. And usually it is not true. Your mind will tell you that, okay, you've gone through it. But when you hear stories about a person, boom, like you go back to that same place. Okay? So don't look. Facebook, WhatsApp status, Instagram, wherever this person or this person's support team is, the people that supported this person to be who they are to you, block them. Nobody is above blocking. Your peace is important. Like your mental state of mind is important to me. Block them. I wanted to say block the MFs, but I will not say it. But block them. You don't have to answer to anybody. You don't have to answer to anybody. I saw that you blocked me. Yes, it's not like I hate you, but I am trying to get over this person. I'm trying to, get to a mental position where I think what you're doing is not supporting that. So I might block you in the short term. Okay? Don't feel bad about it. Now, find something that makes you laugh. That is also a coping mechanism. Find something to make you laugh. Okay? Either it is friend, either it is a comedy movie, either it's listening to a very good podcast, either it's listening to something that's, some movies that are very good. Netflix is very good to, like, schedule these movies by titles, telling you these are comedies. Go for those kind of things and make sure you laugh. Now, whilst you are doing this, you will want to, like, talk to people that don't understand your situation. You are laughing, you are this, you are that. Don't go to sad movies. Don't go to sad songs. When a song is telling you exactly how you feel, what happens? You just cry. So the same is true for sad movies. Like, they tell you that, oh, this person went through this, and you just try to, like, equate yourself to the situation, and maybe you too, you will just start to cry. Like, you are trying to move on. You don't want to remind yourself of the situation. That is a coping mechanism. The reason why I'm calling all of these coping mechanisms, because I know you have to go through them. I'm not going to tell you that, oh, you're just going to get here and you're going to jump over it. No, far from it. You are not going to, it's not going to happen that way, because it did not happen that way for me. But I want to just shorten the period for you, because you cannot hold on to this pain and issues for the rest of your life. Okay? Another saying is that you can only get over a man when you get under one. It's not true. Do you know when you get under another man, what that does for you? It's distracting you from the true pain. So, my point is, don't be distracted. Don't distract yourself from the pain. The pain is there. Sit with it. Feel the pain. Be logical about the pain. Ask yourself the questions: how am I going to live this life now? What am I going to do financial wise, accommodation wise? What am I going to do if we are sharing like children? What am I going to do about all of these issues? Be logical about this. So don't be distracted. Sorry about the break. I didn't know where I stopped. Don't be distracted by, saying I'm going under another man. Now, let me tell you what will happen. If anything happens, which is bound to happen in any sexual or romantic relationship, there's going to be a hiccup. When a hiccup happens to you, when you say you think you're going to get over one man by going under another man, it means two heartbreak for you. Because definitely that man that you went under is going to offend you. They're going to hurt you. They're going to do things. In fact, you don't even know them. They're going to do things that you don't like. So imagine you have a pain that you have not dealt with, compounded with another pain. Those are two pains. Okay? So don't do it. Go through the pain. Sit with the pain. Okay? Another thing that I think all of us go through, like me, I went through that for like 7 months. And I was holding on to the hope that it will turn around. Everybody holds on, especially when you're in love with somebody. You are desperately in love with somebody. Like, you have not anticipated that in your entire life, that things would end either nicely or abruptly, whatever the case may be. That was not your plan for your life. You thought you were going to be in love with this person for the rest of your life. So there is a part of you that holds on to hope that is going to work out. Now, when they tell you hope, when it comes to breakup and emotional struggles, is a bitch. I think that is the thing that derails progress the most. It keeps you aback the most. Holding on onto hope that is not even feasible. You don't even know how that other person is processed. You don't even know, like, the moves they have taken to, like, let go of you. And you are seated wherever you are, holding on onto hope that you don't know about, me, I don't know about. It does not make sense. So usually people say, okay, if I need to move on, I need to have closure. Closure is a bitch. Closure. You don't need closure. The closure that you needed was the person to tell you that they don't want you. That's the only closure you need. Don't sit around until you say, okay, I want a conversation. I want to sit down with you. Tell me what went wrong. Tell me what I did. How can I change? How can I this? So give up hope and give up that statement that I want closure. You are not going to get it. They have given you the closure that they wanted to give you. They've spoken to you. They've told you in plain terms that it's not working for them. So even if it's working for you, it is not working for them. It is two people that make a relationship. If the one person is not interested, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not going to work out. So, one man of God said it. Say, gather the respect, the little respect that is left of you, and move on. Don't wait for stupid, nonsensical closure. It is never going to come. You will never have closure on somebody that you love. because your intentions have to change first before you have closure. If your intention is for them to love you back, even if they tell you 1,000 reasons why they don't want you, your intentions are going to still stay the same. You still want them to love you. Period. Okay? So let's come to the number one thing that I think will make you get over this stupidity. The number one thing that I know will get you over this is to make progress convincing yourself that this person is normal. Do not distract yourself. Make progress with your life. Make progress with your life. Accepting that this thing is not going to work is the only thing that will make you to make progress. Make progress with your life. Now, I look at breakup now as an opportunity for you to find yourself again, because relationships and being with people for too long does something to you. Like, you lose your individuality, but that's the purpose of it. Anyways, that's the reason why we're going to, because you want to have a life with somebody else. But when you come out of it, you start to gain your individual. Like, I'm an individual by myself. I'm a human being by myself. I can take decisions by myself. I can take actions unilaterally. I don't need to consult. So it gives you that sense of new beginning, wholeness, individualistic kind of perspective to life. But it can only yield betterment for you if we say, ditch all of those coping mechanisms, ditch the hope that it's going to work again, and come to the realization that an end of an era is here. And now that I'm at the end of this era, what can I do to make progress of my life? It is the end of an era. I used the same technique I used when I lost my brother in 2000. Yes, it's in year 2000. He went out to the beach and he drowned. And it took me ages to process it. But the day I recognized that there is nothing I could do about it, I recognize that crying, brewing, being depressed about it will not bring him back. The day I recognize that what happened has been ordained by a power bigger and greater than me, I learned to let it go. I learned that I have to leave it to the master and make progress for my life. What can I do now that the one that is bigger and greater than me has put me in this position? Sorry. And has put me in this position. What can I do to make progress? To not make him think that this position you have put me in is a mistake. Because God does not make mistake. God knows exactly what he is doing. He knows exactly what he is doing. So this is my antidote. Acceptance. The reason why people are depressed is when they place emphasis and they want something so badly. When you place emphasis on futility. What is futility? Something that will never just be. It is futile. It doesn't matter what you do. It is futile. When you accept futility, accept it in your mind that this person is gone. There is nothing I can do about it. There is nothing, absolutely nothing I can do about it for this person to come back or to love me or to be in the capacity that I want them to be, or for even me to trust them again that, they have my back no matter what. They have disappointed me once. I have no guarantee that they will not disappoint me again. I don't want to work in a relationship that I am on eggshells that, if I do something that they are not happy about, they are going to break my heart again. Does it make sense? So accepting that futility brings you peace. But you have to label the issue as being futile for you to accept it. That is why people get over death more than they get over heartbreak. Because they understand that crying over a dead person is futile. Staying mad at God over a dead person is futile. So what did they do? They accept it. Accept it. And when you accept it, the only way that acceptance will gratify you, will make you happy again, will bring you joy. To label something futile is sometimes the hardest thing to do. First of all, some people find it hard because maybe you have kids with the person. There's no way this person cannot be in the life of my child or my children. Maybe you have real estate together. There is no way, you want a part of it. Or there is a lot of investment I've made in this person. How can I just come to terms that this person, there's nothing that's going to work out for me and this person? Now, you have a role to play here. It's called cutting off your losses. Cut out your losses. Now, somebody shared their story with me, and I'm going to leave them completely anonymous. They said when they were 27, they had a breakdown, a mental breakdown, and then they went to see a psychiatrist in Sierra Leone, because it's intriguing. I didn't know people can actually go to those lengths. And the psychiatrist said, you are suffering from something he described as Othello syndrome. I have no idea what that is. And the person says, you have to cut your losses now, or you will wake up on your 37th birthday having tripled or quadrupled your losses. What this means is that if it is not working, you better cut it now, rather than, hanging in there, being dragged along until such a time you feel ready that it is no longer worth it for you. At that time, you would have tripled your losses. So now it has happened. They say, no, it's enough. I've suffered this heartbreak. It's enough. I don't want you anymore. You start to count about, my children, my house, my this, my that. Guess what? Even if it is going to work, you are not guaranteed that 5-10 years down the line, you're not going to end on the same spot. So I have a very simple message for you. The thing that keeps you stuck is hope that is going to get better. Out of that thing, it's not going to get better. Let me give it to you raw. It's not going to get better. Even if you get to a point where there is reconciliation, you are never going to trust the situation anymore. You are never going to trust the situation. You are still going to be bitter. That's, you did this to me. So cut your losses. Cut them now. The only closure you need is for somebody to open their mouth and tell you it is okay. I don't want you anymore in my life. Period. Take that as the closure that you need and cut your losses. Acceptance of futility is an antidote of depression. It doesn't matter the situation in life. When you have tried everything you know how to do and something proves to be futile, accept it. Don't go against the tide. There's a song that says, row, row, row your boats, merrily, merrily, merrily. Flow with life. If life does not want you to have a certain thing, try what you can. If it still proves futile, like something the universe is telling you, it is not meant to happen. Get on board with the program and let it go. People are struggling. I don't want you to struggle. This is how I survived my heartbreak. I came to a point after I did all my gymnastics, did what I know how to do, prayed, fast, this, that, da. I came to a point where I have to accept that this situation is futile. I came to a point where I accepted that even if it cost me to forgive and reconcile, there is a part of me that will never trust that union anymore. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So it is futile. There is no win in the situation. It is lose-lose. It doesn't matter what you do. It is lose-lose. So if you are going through this and you are certain that you have exhausted or exasperated all of your options to make this work, tag that problem as being futile. Equate it to a situation wherein you lost somebody. This person is dead. This person is dead. Move on with your life. Now, the final part, which is an addendum to you accepting this futility, is for you to make progress. Make progress with your life. Life has presented you a brand new list. Take opportunity. Take advantage. do things that you have always wanted to do but are almost impossible to do because you have to consider another human being. Now you don't have to consider another human being. Express yourself in the highest capacity that you think you can. Maybe it's not going to take long. Somebody will pick you up and then you will go back to, being coupled up and booed up and everything like that. But at this pace, look at it as a situation where life has given you a list to reevaluate, rethink about your life, find new energy, find new hobbies. You wanted to write a book. It's an opportunity for you to do it. You wanted to make friends. You wanted to actually have friends that you visit. Do that. This is the opportunity that I think life has given unto you. Now, I go back to my former statement that I don't minimize the fact that you are going through pain, but you cannot stay stuck. If you've tried everything and it is proving to be futile, please accept it for what it is and move on. Whilst you're moving on, be sure to make progress of your life. Because when somebody breaks your heart, they always want to put themselves on a pedestal that without them, you're done. Without them, you cannot be happy again. Make progress. That is the only point you have to prove. Make progress for yourself, not even for the other person. Make progress for yourself. I hope it helps you. I hope you find something that you can use to just pick yourself up. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Okay, how I feel and I saw